the government of the United States has scripts that it wants people in the news media to read, and it wants penalties if you don't read the script that is put in front of your nose. As I say, this could not be more alarming, but the ultimate goal is it's not just about interfering with broadcast media because of Trump's vanity and other compulsions. They're playing for serious stakes. Stephen Miller is not an ego-driven person. J.D. Vance is not a psychological head case. They are after something much more substantial, which is shutting down political competition.
Why does ABC not stand up to this? Because it seems like a slam dunk case as far as the First Amendment is concerned.
Because ABC is owned by Disney, and Disney is subject to other pressures. And from Disney's point of view, the ABC broadcast entertainment division is a very small dollar aspect. We've seen this happen with a couple of these other networks. So Trump began by bringing an action against ABC, Disney, for something George Stephanopoulos said. And George Stephanopoulos was slightly off base, that on air he referred to Trump raping a woman, when in fact all that the courts found was that Trump was civilly liable for a civil sexual assault on the woman. And if you find it a meaningful difference to have a civil liability for civil sexual assault versus criminal, that will mean a lot to you. If not, not. But Stephanopoulos blurred the distinction, and Trump demanded $15 million fine paid to him personally, which Disney, for other reasons, agreed to give. The next action was against CBS. So there's a small color, tiny little grain of sand of truth to what Trump said against ABC. Against CBS, it was garbage from beginning to end. Against CBS, the complaint was that CBS had edited the Kamala Harris interview that they did before the election on 60 Minutes in a way that Trump didn't like. Now, there is massive First Amendment doctrine and FCC practice that says editing is a First Amendment protected function. And anyway, if anybody has a complaint about the editing, it's the person who has edited, Kamala Harris herself. If she doesn't complain, no one else is standing to bring any complaint. It's nonsense. It's garbage. It would not last seconds. But CBS, which is part of a larger corporate entity, which was seeking government approval for a deal, they also agreed to pay Trump. He sued the New York Times, a rather more robust institution. He sued the Wall Street Journal, which has also been impressively robust. Now he's after ABC because he doesn't like Jimmy Kimmel, but more that there's this atmosphere of pressure because the goal here is to attack Democratic Party fundraising in advance of 2026.
Hi, I'm Pat Morrison, one of the hosts of America at a Crossroads. If you like this video, don't just watch. Head over to our website where you can subscribe for early access to new programs, see our upcoming schedules, and connect directly with our guests in our weekly live streams. Thank you for watching. Just today, he threatened Jonathan Karl of ABC News, who asked about Pam Bondi's threat to go after anybody who was practicing hate speech. And President Trump said he'd probably go after him over the alleged hate against the Trump administration. Insulted reporter Karl, he said, "We'll probably go after people like you because you treat me so unfairly. It's hate. You have a lot of hate in your heart."
Yeah. Well, if you read this crazy legal filing that Trump made against the New York Times, which looks like it was substantially dictated by Trump himself and not written by a lawyer, one of the his complaint against the New York Times is they don't pay enough tribute to his success. They have said negative things about him. These are not legal matters, but understand that this is about the government of the United States has scripts that it wants people in the news media to read, and it wants penalties if you don't read the script that is put in front of your nose. As I say, this could not be more alarming, but the ultimate goal is it's not just about interfering with broadcast media because of Trump's vanity and other compulsions. They're playing for serious stakes. Stephen Miller is not an ego-driven person. J.D. Vance is not a psychological head case. They are after something much more substantial, which is shutting down political competition before a midterm election that they fear, right, with great justice, they are in danger of losing. And if they do lose control of Congress, then what happens to all of Trump's business interests? What happens to the billions of dollars he's receiving from businesses and foreign governments?
Or the Epstein case, for that matter.
What happens to the Epstein case? What happens to so many things? They cannot risk losing control of Congress, and they will lose Congress if the competition is free and fair.
Thank you all for watching. We hope you will be back on Thursday at 5 p.m. Pacific time when the new chancellor of UCLA Julio Frank is here talking about, can America's universities survive the current assault? There's momentum gathering on both sides of that, and you'll want to listen to that and hear what it is that our American educational institutions are facing and what their counter arguments are. Thank you so much for joining us and for supporting us. Go to the website. You can find out more information on how to do so and on our upcoming programs.